Hello, I'm Mrs. Roman, and I wanted to welcome you all to the 2020 Paul Revere Literary Anthology event. This year is a little different. Normally we'd be out on the quad with pizza and cookies and certificates, but despite the change in circumstances, we have found a way to continue our annual celebration of writing on the digital platform. I'm so proud and privileged to work with a group of such smart and talented and motivated students, and I am reminded of that every year as we put together the literary anthology. You have done some truly spectacular work this year, and you should be really proud of yourselves. So to the students, thank you for sharing your creativity and your imagination with us. To the parents and the families, thank you for supporting and encouraging your children to be readers and writers. I hope that you all enjoy reading and listening to this year's anthology entries.
Hi, I'm Eli Hamid and I'm in 7th grade. Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality. Kobe Bean Bryant's singular basketball career and retirement have inspired and astonished many people throughout the world. On August 23, 1978, the boy who many consider the greatest player ever was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Black Mamba, a nickname he likes to call himself, is not only a hero and MVP on the court, but also off the court. But those who did not witness the struggle and arduous work he had to go through might not understand how challenging it was for him to get to the influential place he is right now. Perhaps Bryant's most difficult obstacle appeared on April 12, 2013, when he was hit with a disastrous injury. As the Los Angeles Lakers were down by 2 points to the Golden State Warriors, Kobe was passed the ball from the sideline. As he was dribbling the ball, he was fouled and stumbled to the floor, holding his left foot. As his fans hoped for a miracle, there was no slam dunk. The next day, he took an MRI and was diagnosed with a torn left Achilles tendon. According to ThePochTimes.com, the same day of the injury, he shared his frustration on the social media app Facebook by writing, "I have no clue. Do I have the consistent will to overcome this thing? Maybe I should break out the rocking chair and reminisce on the career that was. Maybe this is how my book ends. Maybe Father Time has defeated me. But this is not how Kobe wanted his fans in the NBA to remember him." Later in Kobe's post-injury tweet, he redeems himself by tweeting, "Then again, maybe not. There are far greater issues/challenges in the world than a torn Achilles. I was upset and dejected and thinking about the mountain, man, to overcome," he told news reporters on the following Friday, according to usatoday.com. "I mean, this is a long process. I wasn't sure I could do it. Then your kids walk in and you're like, I've got to set an example. Daddy's going to be fine. I'm going to do it." The huge impact the greatest player ever, as Shaquille O'Neal called him on First Take, has had throughout his retirement life had appeared in many places. The 5-time NBA champion has recently created a camp for basketball players called Mamba Sports Academy to help improve their skills and try to get them to the top of their game. On the website, basketballsocietyonline.com, one of his students wrote, "His impact to the game is unfathomable, and although there are a lot of Kobe fans across the globe, his impact on each person is extremely different. But he has not only shown acts of heroism in the form of sports, but he has created many charitable works such as his own foundation dedicated to improving the lives of youth and families in need. Not only did Kobe overcome obstacles, but he has also changed the way most people look at basketball players and sport players in general. After retirement, Kobe continued working hard and scoring the act of writing books. In a life story film Kobe wrote about himself, he won the Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. Glenn Keane, Kobe's director on the short film, reflects on Kobe's Oscar accomplishment during his 2018 Oscar speech to the other people by saying, "It's a message for all of us. Whatever form your dream may take is through passion and perseverance. The impossible is possible." And as quoted on Goalcast.com, Kobe says himself, everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity to rise.
This poem is called Our New Bells. It's about the new bells we got at school. We waited with hope as they fixed the old bells, the signal for us students to scatter like gazelles, but the new bell sound is overall sickening. I pray for my earwax to have sudden thickening, for that eerie toned beeping is rotten to hear. It's like acid poured into the canal of my ear. The volume, first up, is so out of bounds, as loud as detonating atomic bomb sounds, and the pitch and the tone seem designed for destroying our ability to think. My God, this is annoying. I hate that bell, those evil chimes. It's gotten so bad that I think sometimes that I want class to go on for more. It's clear my sanity has hit the floor. I'd rather hear my teacher droning than hear that sound like a dying moose moaning. But I guess I'll accept this auditory curse. School is so painful, but now even worse. But I'd rather be back at school.
My name is Sage Denneman. I'm a 6th grader. At first, I thought it was kind of scary. I mean, controlling a whole entire boat with all the little complicated sails and ropes? What if you capsized, stranded in the middle of the lake? I had my doubts about sailing, but when my mom asked if I would do lessons, I couldn't think of a good reason to say no, so I said okay. I was in Cooperstown, New York, also known as the home of baseball, for my annual summer trip. My grandparents live there, so my family and I go to visit them every year. There is a famous and beautiful lake called Lake Otsego. In the summer of 2016, I was signed up for group sailing lessons. Of course, this is my first time sailing and I had no idea how to do so.
Hi, my name is Ronan Hyampor. I'm in the 6th grade and I'm going to read a piece of my writing from when I broke my wrist. Once I started to play on the structure, I forgot all about my worries. I was first playing on the monkey bars, desperately trying to get to the other side. It was a daring challenge for me because it was so hard to keep myself up and still have the momentum to get to the other side. Eventually, I succeeded. Then I went on the slides, going down several times. I was having the time of my life. Gliding down the slides was like flying in air. I wanted to go down the slide again, but a boy was climbing up and blocked me. Because I was too shy and embarrassed to ask him if he can step aside, I jumped down the side of the slide. As I was falling, I put my hands out and then, crack! I felt excruciating pain in my left wrist. I rolled up in a ball of pain, sobbing quietly while cradling it. A teammate from my sister's soccer team saw me and went to go get Kayla.
Hello, my name is Lana Shragani. I'm in 6th grade. I'll be reading my ode to art. Oh, art. Your colors dance on the page with your colors in range. All my pictures come to life, crimson, yellow, white. Tells a story of how you move me. Through your style, it's like a movie. Your bright colors dance on the page, telling me I'm not in a haze. Oh, art, your warm and puffy clouds have a brightness in your eyes. Look at it twice. First you see a picture, the second you see a movie. We all see you differently. Different emotions evoke like waves in the ocean. Oh, art, from something as simple to a napkin to a big painting, you are all around us. Art, you are like a carnival. We never know what you're going to do next. As your colors tell a story to everyone who sees, excitement, liveliness, calmness touches the heart. Oh, art, you bring out the best in us. You show us the talents we didn't know we had. You inspire us to be our best. When all else fails, you're always there. Warm our hearts and bring us back on top. Oh, art, from simple drawings to simple masterpieces, you can be everything. Love, comfort, compassion, mystery, you have it all. Every stroke of the brush, every click of the button, every pencil that touches paper, every move that we make, every scene that is shot. Oh, art, you aren't always easy. Your precise colors bring a creative block. The flow in my mind isn't always there. Blank, blank. Oh, art, thank you for showing us ourselves, being our reflection. No matter how dark our mind is, you are the light. We are indebted. This is an ode to art.
My name is Cameron Shofor. I'm in 6th grade. I'm reading my story called My Summer Vacation. My summer started off terribly. My mom almost forgot our passports at home. When I got through security, I grabbed my backpack and headed over to the rest of my family. While we were walking over, something came over the loudspeaker, proclaiming that our flight was delayed by 1 hour. Finally, the plane boarded and we got on. I sat next to Sophia and Ari. We finally took off and we were in the air. A long 5 hour later, the plane landed in Vancouver, Canada. When my family got off, we headed over to the baggage claim. We grabbed our bags and headed over to find a taxi. Where are we going? I asked. Even though I was confused, I acted really excited. It's a surprise, my parents said at once. The cab picked us up and we drove us down the street to harbor. Now I was even more confused. Why are we here? I kept asking. You'll see, my dad says. We went to the front desk and the person asked, are you ready for the cruise? What? I was so excited I can jump off a mountain. Ari, Sophie, and I were jumping up and down for about 5 minutes. Hurry, we're going to miss the cruise. Luckily, we didn't wait any longer because we were the last ones on. Once we boarded the cruise, we went to our room. The kids had one room and the parents had another. Once we stepped into the room, I changed my bathing suit and was ready to go swimming. I went upstairs with my sister to the pool, but it was freezing. Brrr. Then we saw the indoor pool and it was a lot warmer. Sophia, where are Mommy, Daddy, and Ari? I don't know, she said. I was getting really nervous. We kept thinking and thinking until I said, maybe we're at the buffet. So that's where we went. Whoa, it's huge once I stepped in. There's about 50 different meals to choose from. And best of all, it's free. We found my parents and Ari at the pizza station. Once they finished lunch, we went to the ping pong table downstairs. The teams were parents versus kids. The kids were amazing, and we won 21-17. Haha, we beat you, all the kids said. We were so proud at that moment and also very tired. So we went back to the room. We watched on TV for a little, then jumped up and down on our beds. After that, I was more tired than before. Then we all just went to sleep. Well, that was the beginning of my summer vacation.
Ode to Netflix by Mia Flores and Catherine Waterbury. Oh, Netflix, you make my day, you make my friends want to stay. I would never use Prime, it is just a waste of time. There is something wrong with you if you use Hulu. This is an ode to Netflix. My mom tells me to go out and get the mail. I don't listen, I watch Riverdale. I should be doing chores. Instead, I watched all the boys I've loved before. This is an ode to Netflix. People are uptight about blue light, but I can give at least 13 reasons why life without Netflix would make me cry. This is an ode to Netflix. The most important factor is having visually appealing actors. Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart make it hard for me and my phone to be apart. This is an ode to Netflix. When I see the Netflix logo pop up, it makes me feel like it's saying, "What's up?" My time on Netflix never ends because I'm too busy watching Friends. This is an ode to Netflix. There are some haters, but don't worry, they'll all come around later. It's an easy attempt for Netflix to make me instantly content. This is an ode to Netflix. Some people like the mile, but we prefer a sedentary lifestyle. Endorphins flow just the same. Bad choices are here to stay. This is an ode to Netflix. The amount of time I spend on Netflix should be a lie. It's so much it makes my battery die. I watch Netflix and procrastinate, not knowing all my homework will be late. This is an ode to Netflix. In conclusion, the dislike to Netflix is just an illusion. Majority opinion says it's Netflix for the win. This is an ode to Netflix.
Hi, my name's Elise Leviadine, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm going to be reading my Ode to Cats. Ode to Cats. Cats in cages day and night, waiting to play or even fight. Bored to death, some might say, eating kibbles day after day. This is an ode to cats. Timothy, my new friend, is a cat in the end, loves to cuddle and snuggle, eats and sleeps with no trouble. This is an ode to cats. Oh Timothy, my future cat, wait for me, I'll be right back. I will never leave your side, not day nor night. Oh Timothy, my future cat, I am your owner now. This is an ode to cats. I see you there in your cage waiting for me to come and hug you lovingly. This is an ode to cats. My new cat, you'll be free from that cage you'll never see. This is an ode to cats. Thank you.
My name's Connor Green, and I'm a 6th grader at Paul Revere Middle School, and you're about to watch my mini-movie of my emotion, happiness. The feeling of floating swiftly through the air, birds chirping from tree to tree. This is what happiness means to me. The delightful scent of lavender surrounds me, and the taste of chocolate fills my mouth. Now this is what happiness is all about. The yellow sun shining on my face. The state of happiness is the best place.
Hi, my name is Ava Williams. I'm in 6th grade. The title of my poem is Happiness. I am full of yellow. Felt like I landed on a pillow. I've chilled and relaxed. Feels like temporary joy. Tastes like Doritos. Also tastes like taquitos. Looks like an angel flew right up to me. Smells like fresh air. Felt like the angel teared all the anger out of me. Sounds like water droplets falling down onto a soft pillow. Feels like 100 pounds of weight lift right off my back. Tastes like my mom's best amazing outrageous buttered cookies.
My name is Nicholas Gordon. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm reading my anthology. I see yellow and there is happiness. My saliva tastes sweet and I start to get excited. I wish this feeling will never have to go away. I have adrenaline rush and a big smile on my face. I just start to jump with my excitement and happiness. When it starts, it doesn't end until I get sad.
Hi, my name is Jordan Pekar, and this is my ode to dance. Hours spent in the studio practicing for the show. There are mirrors all around as we listen to the sound of the music that plays as we learn in 3 days. Oh, how much I love dance. Dance is the most colorful art. You can dance sad or happy or right from your heart. It's all full of colors to change your emotion that brings all the audience to a sweet motion. Oh, how much I love dance. Stretching and turning and having some fun as we tumble, do backbends, now we've begun. Oh, how much I love dance. Memorizing the steps, so hard to remember, but soon we will know them by the end of November. Jazz walks, pirouettes, all added to the dance. Make sure it's sharp, no time to prance. Oh, how much I love dance. Take technique classes, ballet, jazz, and lyrical to help your dancing get better and you'll think it's a miracle. Oh, how much I love dance. The choreography is done, now time to clean it. We go over the steps and everything in between it. We get lots of corrections to stick in our brain, push the save button and hope it remains. Oh, how much I love dance. Always hyped up, we make the crowd go wild. That's what dancers do, not just as a child. We like moving the people with our soft lyrical dances, and we wake up the crowd with our hip-hop glances. Oh, how much I love dance. It's coming close to the day that we will hopefully slay. Good thing we've almost perfected our dances, or else there will sadly be no chances. Oh, how much I love dance. We will sew all the costumes to make them sparkle or flow, which will give all the dancers a more reason to glow. Oh, how much I love dance. Finally, it's competition day. The stage is set, the lights are bright, the competition can go from morning to night. Oh, how much I love dance. Everyone scrambles for the makeup, time for costumes. Oh no, we're called up. Oh, how much I love dance. On stage we shine just like a fae. We're all synchronized each and every day. Oh, how much I love dance. Thank you.
Izzy Kocher, 7th grade. Tick-tock. Clock stared down from the wall, looking at the kids who were getting pretty tall. He watched, bored, through mounds of homework so tall they hit the doorway. He watched as they came home carefree and started to play. He watched as they got their first American Girl doll toy. He watched as one of them cried over a boy. The kids always beamed at him, never knowing the truth, that he was smiling back without a single tooth. The clock had watched as the girls grew old, and watched with sweaty hands through every fever and cold. Then one day, as random as Grandma's sticky, sour, salty broccoli pies, the girls left and said their goodbyes. 5 years later, they came back, but the odd thing was that they didn't unpack. Both of their fingers had a glistening ring, but as they gathered their stuff, his heart started to sting. The clock said goodbye for the last time then, and he realized that he would never see them again.
Although he sometimes fails, his success still unveils. Rockets blast to the sky, cars glide as they fly. Different gravity, a new reality. Payments through the website, success grows to new heights. While he's different, he's still significant.
Hi, I'm Arshan Kazai. I'm in 7th grade and this is my poem. Dear Basketball, thank you for the ups and downs, the twists and turns, and even the minutes on the bench. All the good moments, or the bad, when I get in fights with my cousins I will never forget. What you have done for me is one of a kind. It has changed me, made me want more. Sitting, waiting for my next game, for my next point, for my next win. You have done too much for me to let you go, too much for you to know, but not too much for me to handle. I can take it all and some more. Throw it at me and give me more. I want it now, not later, because later is when I shall be free. Give me the moments, give me the pain. Best of all, give me the fame. This is a poem for you to see how much I appreciate what you've done for me.
Hi, I'm Martha Balcom and I'm in 7th grade. This is my Dark Age poem. It was the year 522. I could hear the spine-tingling wolves. My mom was calling me to come home. The wolf was ripping every tendon in my leg. The sound was unbearable. I saw a wolf attacking another innocent child. The scent of blood reached my nostrils. Once I reached for a piece of dirty linen, I wrapped my leg with that piece of linen to help the bleeding stop. My brother risked his life to come save me. He crawled over and once he did, he was eaten. I laid there peacefully, only knowing that it was going to be my last goodbye.
I'm Sam Jacobson in the 7th grade. I am an average boy. I'm an average bird, flying just below the clouds. I know I'm on this planet, but when I'm up so high, I sometimes think otherwise. I squint at the yellow ball of fire, so small yet so big. I'm really just a speck of dust compared. I see the beautiful, busy world below, hear the wind whistle past. I believe I'm on top of everything. But what goes up must come down. Sure, I may have been set back, but like the sun I'll rise again. I'm an average bird, feathers light as air, swooping up and down. An ordinary average bird lives one day at a time, taking in its surroundings. But it must come to an end. A bird is sometimes unaware of something right in front of them. Clueless like me, oblivious to something, might even kill you. Like a bird flying into glass, ignorant and gone forever. Average bird, average boy. Live life to your fullest, and be aware.
Hi, my name is Sabrina McKay Bounds. I'm in grade 7, and this is my poem, Fake Friends. Fake friends come and go. Once they start talking to you, they start talking about you. You start to see the signs of them leaving you behind. They never say hi, and their texts are getting dry. You only see the back of them now. You hear them talk about how you cheat and lie and how you do weird things basic people like them would enjoy. But you know those rumors aren't true. You are unique and diverse, and you are you. Your head starts spinning, your palms are sweating, tsunamis of tears come from your eyes. The rumors start winning, and you want to be like everyone else. You change your style, your hair, your smile. The stress starts building, and the rest of your close friends start disappearing. It feels like the beginning of winter, filled with smiles, fun, and laughter, just until it gets cold, numb, and dark, and trees and flowers turn black, and there are no more smiles, no more fun, and no more laughter, and everything like that.
My name is Nico Trojan and I'm in 7th grade. My poem is called The Paper Cut. The paper cut. Help, I'm going numb. I have this gash on my thumb, a ringing stinging up my arm. That paper really caused me harm. That villain sheet is now stained red. My hand is heavy, just like lead. My face is straining from the pain. The wound is dripping crimson rain. Look at this ocean of blood, a tidal wave, a scarlet flood. The scent of metal burns my nose. The pain is searing, it never slows. This winter is no normality. Call a doctor before it's a fatality. I'm dying, I'm bleeding out. Will I live? I highly doubt. I call murder on this sheet of paper. Give me anesthesia, pass the vapor. Order the tombstone, dig the grave. Don't judge me, I'm not brave. Supersonic screams fill the halls, so darn loud it breaks down walls. My vision blurs, my final breath. Goodbye world, hello death. Wait a moment, I'm not dead. Nowhere near a hospital bed. Oh dear, how could I not see? This paper cut made a fool of me.
Hi, my name is Isabella Canella. I am in 7th grade, and my piece is named Midnight Attack. I ran across the snow on a finger-freezing day of 634 AD. The wind howled, and so did the bushes. I shook, and so did the bushes. My spine tightened as I was surrounded by creatures. Eyes as dark as death, fur that blended together from black to gray. The moonlight showed their teeth have killed many more than me. Quivering, I picked up stones and sticks. They struck. Screams escaped from my soul that were heard from miles away. I kicked and pulled, but it wasn't enough. The snow was painted red. I was painted red. I stopped fighting and accepted death. The cold-hearted creatures walked away satisfied, and I laid their souls. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean Wallig, and I'm in Mr. Wexter's Honors English class, 7th grade. The title is Tom Cruise. He is great at acting. He's also distracting. Still has no Oscar, but he's a good boxer. He plays a special agent, though some say he's ancient. With 45 movies, he has tons of groupies. Top Gun in the Navy shows he's old school, baby.
My name is Promising Edge, and I'll be reading my poem, OTA Basketball. Basketball, it's every boy's dream to get in the NBA, to play just like Kobe. The ball, the hoop, the court, the shoes. I see the basketball as brown as a kangaroo's eyes. The sound of the shoes squeaking, just wait for tonight. The floor is covered with lights. To show my game tonight, I am ready for a fight. I hit the court, the ball in my hand. The basketball was dashing with all its might. Down the court, one problem is 1 second left and I don't know what to do. I throw the ball as it flew through. The basketball is a bird flying through the air. The crowd on their foot as the last shot goes. At the end of it all hands to their toes, and the winners look back at the game they took. The players left, the crowd was shook. Basketball, I fall, I push, I sprint just for the game basketball. Thank you.
I'm your Robson, grade 7. Sparky the dog. A cold wind blew through the alley, ruffling my soft white fur. Rain poured, flooding the cold alley. A rat scurried beneath me, and I leapt in the air shocked. "Watch it, Buster!" sneered the rat before vanishing behind a dumpster. The soft flap of wings startled me. "Oh, poor, poor puppy dog!" Raven's black as night laughed. "Far from home, eh?" A second raven provoked. Anger and sadness blazed inside me like fire. I started barking to try and scare away the birds. "Oh, I'm terrified!" The first raven squawked dramatically. The other raven threw a little fainting act. "Oh, Jat, what will we ever do?" The two birds started bursting into laughter. "I don't know, Jut, what do you think?" The birds kept laughing and I kept barking. I suddenly felt eyes burning into me and turned around to notice a young girl with raven black hair staring out her window. I didn't know how to react, so I ran behind a car, startling a cat. "What, alley too small for you, mutt?" she mumbled before leaping over a wall. I peered around the back of the car to see the girl was gone. I sighed and started walking away from the house. A loud clap of thunder rang in the night, only a few lights to lead my way, as dead silence hissed in the alley. The rain started pouring faster and hunger became overwhelming. A thought crept into my head like a fox stalking a rabbit. Go back to the house, and I listened. By the time I reached the house, the rain had stopped, and the glaring glow of the sunrise was visible. I walked onto the porch and took a deep breath, and started whimpering and scratching at the door. The door swung open quickly. A girl ran out and looked at me as her parents stood behind her. She said something to them that I couldn't quite understand, but I saw them nod and I knew something good happened. I rolled onto my back, exposing my stomach and letting my tongue roll out. The girl cautiously put her hand on my stomach and started rubbing it as she smiled and I yipped. She threw her arms around my neck, and at that moment I knew I was home. The girl whispered, "Welcome home, Sparky."
Stepping on Stage by Leah Rose Nelson. It was Valentine's Day, and I was at the Disneyland Hotel ballroom. That day, it was a dressing room for a dance competition. Given that it was 6:50 on a winter morning, it was pretty cold. I was 6 years old and getting nervous to compete with my first ever solo. The longer I waited in the crowded dressing room, with bobby pins scattered across the floor, the worse the image in my head got of how scary it would be alone on stage. I was starting to think of all the things that could go wrong when Dag, my stern dance teacher and owner of the studio, walked over to me and said, "More, bigger." Before today, we were always alone in the studio, but now, practicing in front of people that I didn't know, I felt a sense of diffidence. I was as shy as a clam. Dag's huge personality was towering over me as I asked how much more time it would be until I performed. She responded with, "About 7 minutes," and that's when my brain wandered off into all of my negative thoughts. I couldn't focus on warming up. My mom came up to me then and said, "Break a leg," in a joking sort of way. "Good luck, Leah," shouted my brother Jeremy from behind my mom. Jeremy was wearing a black shirt with a silver trophy on it. As I walked backstage for the final 2 minutes before I performed, I walked through a cloud of hairspray that smelled like Moroccan oil. When I finally got there, I was so nervous that I thought I might throw up, and my legs felt as weak as a fawn. But as the judges announced my dance, and I heard the upbeat music start, I felt like a feather on that stage. It felt as if the stage was telling me that it would be alright. I saw dancers of all ages from my studio cheering in the audience, and as soon as I finished my solo, they came to congratulate me and carried me off the stage. I felt amazing. Once I was by myself again, regrouping my thoughts, I realized that I should never be complacent, and the next time would be even better than this first time I stepped on stage.
My name is Carl Gambas and I am a 7th grader, and I will be reading the poem titled Pope Francis. Sitting in Peter's chair, he ensures Earth's welfare, a man free of all woes, whom some people oppose. Unity he promotes, this man that never gloats. Forgiving those who sin, he treats others like kin. Fostering harmony, he creates ecstasy.
The Peaceful by Sophia Hoff. The area was clear of people, and all I could see was the birch trees growing from the colorful flower field around me. It was quiet, just like I loved. I sat down, pulled out a book, and smelled the air. It smelled of peonies, daisies, and lilies. It reminded me of a fairy tale, one of peace. I felt as if fairies could be flying around me, dancing and singing. All I could hear was the sound of a nearby river and a waterfall flowing into it. As I read, time went by quickly. I checked my watch. I'd been there for over 3 hours. I continued reading until the words on the pages started to blur together and my eyes could not take it. I closed the book and looked around. By now it was dark out, and the white stars above me sparkled. It was beautiful, peaceful, and scary. To think all of those pretty white sparks were hot, burning stars, pretty far away, but terrifying up close. I closed my eyes and fell asleep, without a worry in the world, knowing that those beautiful stars and the flowers were by my feet. It was peaceful, just the way I liked it.
My name is Hannah Suzuki, and I am in 8th grade. Blank canvas. Every day you start off with a clean blank canvas. Each moment of your day you paint something. Express your emotions with colors and shapes. There is no limit to your paintbrush. It can be one single stroke, or it can be a wide burst of colors. You might be bored with your drawing. Just keep on painting. You might suddenly have an exciting idea to paint, or you might end up with having a painting you don't like. Don't give up, have faith, and move on to your next painting. But at the end of the day, whether you feel accomplished or dissatisfied, you must sign it and start the next day with a blank canvas.
Hi, my name is Hugo, and I'm gonna read my poem, Ode to My Mom. Ode to my mom, a mom I certainly love, who loves and cares for me. Ode to my mom, who's always there for me, a mother I'm thankful for having. I love my mom for the sacrifices she made for me, Even in her ups and downs, she's always there for me. I love you, Mom, now and forever, till death do us part.
Embers of the Getty by Serenity Frivert. I remember waking up to the blaring sound of an alert. I looked at my phone and saw that it was 2:35 a.m. The alert read a fire had started near the Getty Center. My first response was to brush it off because I didn't know how close I was to the Getty. Also, I had been in a situation before when a fire had started near me, but it was no big deal. I could hear my older sister talking to my mom and my dad, so I walked downstairs to see all three of them with worried expressions on their faces. "What's going on?" I asked. "We might be close to a fire. Turn on the news," my sister replied. I complied. The reporter stated a fire was blazing near the Getty. The map showed all of the areas that were near the Getty. My neighborhood was highlighted in red, and according to the key, it meant a mandatory evacuation. I could see my sister's brown eyes dilate when she saw the map. She snapped, "Get a suitcase from out of the garage. We need to leave now." The walk to the garage felt endless. I kept thinking and worrying about the fire. When I opened the door, I could smell something. The pungent smell of smoke hit me fast, like a train. Sputtering and coughing, I snatched my suitcase and slammed the door. About 10 minutes later, my mom, sister, dad, and I were ready to evacuate. We had a plan to caravan to my eldest sister's house. My sister and I have reactive asthma, so we were both wearing scarves as face masks. As I stepped outside, I could hear sirens and firefighters yelling. I remember seeing hundreds of embers gliding in the cold October wind. At that very moment, I was terrified. I had so many questions. How long is the drive? Will I have enough food and water? When will we go back home? Will I still have a home? Not to mention how awful my stomach felt from all the anxiety I had. I knew that I wasn't going to get any answers right away, so I tried not to think about my questions. Once I was in the car, my sister began to drive. As she was driving, I noticed how blank yet serious her face was. She was a focused hawk, watching out for everything and everyone. I'd never seen her this serious before, so I wondered if she was scared too. I asked her, "Are you scared of the fire?" "Yeah, I am." I asked, "Is our house still going to be there when we come back?" She replied, "Honestly, I don't know, Serenity. We just have to have faith and hope that our house will be okay. Besides, we have insurance. It's what you have to do with the things in life that you don't have control over. I know you're scared, but you can't worry about the fire too much, because worrying about something that you don't have control over doesn't make it better." My sister always had a knack for being brutally honest, but when I had time to think in the 30-minute car drive, I realized that the advice she'd given me was true. So over the course of 3 days, I tried not to worry about the fire as much. When my family and I drove back home, my house was still standing and nothing was burned. Over time, I realized that it's okay to be afraid or worried in certain situations, but that you shouldn't worry too much about the things you can't control.
Olivia Weir, grade 8. I wrote my essay on climate change and why it exists. I don't believe in climate change. President Trump, June 17, 2015. Climate change has become a recurring issue in the US, especially in the last 4 years. Much of this has to do with the stance of many Americans on the controversial topic. Is climate change real? And if it is, how do we fix it? We know the answers to both of these questions. Yes, it is real, and put a halt on emissions. The real question we all should be thinking about is, why haven't we done anything? Climate change is real. Science proves it. I believe in climate change because I see it happening every day. When the Earth's temperature hits new highs, when the glaciers start to melt, when oceans heat up, but we are still continuing to ignore the problem, shove it off, and pretend it's not there. The world can't put this off any longer if we want to have a healthy Earth for the generations to come. There won't be any generations to come if there's not a world for them to stand on. Acting now could mean the difference between life and death in the next 100 years. Still, for some people, this isn't enough.
Hi, my name is Naomi Tubian, and I'm in 8th grade. I wrote the story That Second. Audrey and I walked down the walkway to the basketball courts and stood in line waiting for our turn to play basketball. With butterflies in my stomach, I turned to Audrey. Okay, Audrey, it's our turn. Come on. I knew I was horrible at basketball, but that didn't stop me from wanting to play. There were hardly ever any females playing on the court with the boys. This forced me out of my comfort zone. I walked tall onto the court. When I looked behind me, I saw that Audrey had walked away and left me alone on the court. I was shocked that she had left me and swallowed the terror rising up in me. Then, all of a sudden, a crowd of boys angrily and harshly walked up to me. I found myself mindlessly standing on the basketball court, alone, listening to a bunch of boys screaming at me to get off the court because females can't play basketball. I didn't know what to say, so I summoned my courage and took a deep breath, and screamed back as hard as I could. There's no rule saying I can't play basketball. Over the sound of my thumping heart, all I heard was, "Get off the court! Females shouldn't play basketball. You don't even have a partner." It was just me fighting for the girls at my school. I was standing up for an important cause. The importance of fighting against sexism felt as if there were 10 elephants piled onto my chest. There were only 2 boys who were helping me, but I appreciated it. At this point, I wasn't even focusing on what I was saying. I was just screaming, "Why can't I play? What's wrong with females playing basketball?" Then I stopped for a second to notice who I was screaming at, and I saw Josh. Josh was a boy in my history class who sat right in front of me. He comes up to me, puts his arm around me, and says, "Come on, Leia, it's time for you to get off the court." I pushed his arm off my shoulders and pushed him away. "Don't ever touch me." Then I randomly heard 2 male voices coming from behind me. "Back off, she has the right to play too." "Yeah, let her play, it's not like it's going to ruin your life or anything." And suddenly, all the other boys started backing up. At that point, a boy named Jeremy then stepped forward and said, "Okay, Leia, fine, you can play this game with your friend, but you have no chance of winning." Having the time to regain her courage, Audrey ran onto the court and said, "Game on," and the game started. 1 minute before the game was over, I was dribbling the ball in front of the hoop. All of a sudden, I felt all the courage built up in me to this moment leave my body. I felt like I was given a challenge to make the winning goal for all the women in humanity. But I just kept hearing "females can't play basketball" over and over again in my head. I stopped for a moment and looked back at Audrey taking a deep breath, releasing the elephants. Then I went for it and I made the winning shot. After the game ended, I went up to Josh and I said what would end our animosity and open up our long-lasting friendship. I do not stand for sexism, and I never will. I will always, no matter what, stand up for the women's rights, no matter how much trouble I might get into. And I hope you will do the same, standing right by my side.
Hello, my name is Jack Kessie, and I'm an 8th grader at Paul Revere Charter Middle School. This is IM02 Part 2. Somewhere and sometime in the snowy meadows of Wisconsin, a 13-year-old walks in the dreary night. This particular girl's name is Tulip Wilson. "Whoa, where am I?" whispered Tulip. "I am Amelia Hughes, and I am the conductor of the train you are on right now. This is the Infinity Train, and this is one of its many cars." He ran to open the red and yellow door. Outside was Kirby, the pink puffball who would eat anything in his path, and Ribbon, the Fairy Queen's assistant, dropped the crystal gun right in front of her. It seemed like this was the dimension she dropped by. These two were being held by 02. She shot a shard at Amelia's heart. It bled quickly as Amelia dropped to the floor. Fortunately, Kirby and Ribbon were dropped by the heartbroken 02, who felt incredibly hopeless. Tulip then screamed and stabbed the shotgun into 02's eye. The blinding light filled this room as Tulip suddenly went black. "Huh? Where am I?" she said as she woke up from her dream. Or was it not a dream? Had it all been reality?
My name is Leela, and I wrote the story "There Are Coyotes in These Woods," about the time that my cousins and I went into the woods. Sunlight dripped over the trees and collected in warm golden pools on the ground. My cousins and I crawled through the dark pipe and emerged into the sunlit forest, our eyes glowing with its reflection. There were trees everywhere, bushes and tunnels, and behind us, a huge open prairie. But my temporary awe melted away when I remembered those frightening words of my uncle. Stay together. Be careful. There are coyotes in these woods. Sophie, I announced, beckoning my cousin over. She was 1 year younger than me, so I was much taller. Clearly, I was the authority in this situation. I snorted at my own odd sense of humor. Come on, let's go build our fort, I trilled, and she came bounding over. I gave a quick glance at my youngest cousin, Rohan, and thought of a quick excuse. Rohan, I pronounced, trying to sound as though bestowing honors. You will be the, coyote guard. Stand over there. I pointed into the distance, about 10 paces away. He puffed his chest out with pride at his noble position, not knowing that coyote guard really meant go stand far away from us because you're just going to get in the way. My cousin Sophie was already digging the sand, unearthing a tunnel. I dove into the bushes beside her and fought off the fronds that whipped my face. It led to a clearing in the middle of the bush, hidden by low-hanging trees. It could fit many people, and the bushes were sparse, so the sunlight filtered through the branches and outlined me in an almost starry frame. Come on over here, I told my cousin, and she began pawing through the branches. Suddenly, a screech shattered the tranquility, and shards of fear scathed my throat. My voice came out hoarse, soft, and scared. Rohan, I whispered, poking my head out of the bush. He was barreling towards us, his eyes wide and glistening with fear. I writhed out of the bush, and Sophie popped out beside me. I knew this was a jolt of shock, that night was falling, and the sun cast reddish glows over the world. Coyote, he cried, and we all fell still. There are coyotes in these woods. Coyotes, coyotes, it echoed in my mind, and my heartbeat throbbed in my chest. My stomach twisted with terror. Suddenly, a bush rustled. My vision blurred with tears, and I bit down hard on my hand. Don't scream, don't scream. I didn't want to die today. Rohan was shaking next to me. Terror electrified the air around us, and with every breath, it felt like my lungs were being suffocated with fear. Grrr. A deep, guttural growling sound rose from the bush, and tears streamed down my face. We were going to die today. I knew it. We were going to... My thoughts were interrupted, as my mother shot out from beside the bush, and an amused smile danced on her face. Pranked you, she sang. There aren't any coyotes in the woods.
Hi, I'm Parker Field. I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm reading my story, The 5 Blades of Ascalon. In the Kingdom of Men lived 5 great knights. They were called the 5 Blades of Ascalon. Their names were Devar, Ren, Corvus, Commodus, and Opal. These warriors were the high knights at the time. They were the king's best knights and most well known. Their swordplay was unmatched, their spellcasting unrivaled. They were the greatest knights in the Kingdom of Man, but they have now all either been killed, gone missing, or in one case, cast out. I tell this story to tell of their greatness before it is lost to history. Let me tell you of one of their greatest accomplishments. Are you sure we should do this, Ren said. He and his comrades were on the top of Skyloft Mountain. They were there for a very disturbing reason. You see, one day earlier, Lord Frost of Iceville kidnapped the king's daughter, Aurora, who was being held hostage at the base of the mountain. The only thing was that she wasn't being guarded by just any army or person. She was being guarded by the beast called the Sharkon, a huge lizard-like beast with blue scales and red eyes. It had a very sleek build and was about the size of 3 gigatones. Now this may seem underwhelming, but that's not all. The Sharkon has the ability to control the element of Earth, making it extremely dangerous. It has the ability to rip rocks and earth right out of the ground, and then use them as a type of armor. This is why Ren was unsure of going along with the plan to kill the Sharkon. Couldn't we just make it chase one of us and move it away from the princess? Asked Ren. Or how about we wait till the beast is asleep and Ren? We've gone over this 1,000 times. If we let it chase one of us, and then let it go, it will rampage across Lavora without anything to stop it, said Devar. Devar was a tall and strong-built man. He stood about 6'4" and had huge muscles. He was the leader of the 5 Blades and was the most experienced monster hunter. And remember, it's also nocturnal. Right? Sorry, replied Ren meekly. Ren was a smaller man and very skinny. He stood about 5'10" and was very lanky. If you two stopped talking, would have killed the beast already, said Corvus quite loudly. Corvus is a very tall and angry man. He was about 6'2" and well built. He also had a very explosive temper. Relax, Corvus, the beast won't spot us from up here, and Lord Frost won't be back to check on the princess until 2 nights from now, replied Opal. Opal was the only woman in the group, and was also the most laid back. She had a slender build and was about 5'10". She also was normally the one to settle the arguments between the boys. Alright, said Commodus, let us go. Commodus was a quiet man and very thoughtful one too. He spoke seldom, but on the battlefield was invaluable. He was about 6'2" and had a strong build. The five then charged down the mountain at incredible speed and neither stumbled or tripped once. The Sharkon didn't notice them until they had landed behind it. The Sharkon let out an ear-piercing roar and swung around to face the blades. It then gave a low grumble and the huge rocks burst from the ground and clamped onto the behemoth's scaly body, creating a rock-like armor. "Now that's quite impressive," said Opal. She then snapped and a blade of water formed in her hands. "Agreed," said Commodus. He clapped his hands, and together in his hand formed a blade made of thorny plants. Ren and Devar and Chorus made similar gestures and made their own blades. Ren's made of shiny metal, Devar's made of air, and Chorus made of lava rock and fire. "Have at us!" yelled